watching Good Morning Columbia, live from Main and Gervais.
You know, guys, as you get older or maybe just injured, there's a lot of aches and pains you may have, but there are a few that just get right to you. Once you stub your toe, no matter what happens, there's nothing more excruciating than that. Lower back pain and, of course, hip pain when you move and it just hurts in your hips. It's excruciating, at least for me anyway, excruciating pain. Hima Dalal from Vital Energy. Good morning to you, my love.
Good morning.
Let's talk a little bit about hip pain. I know when you go to the chiropractor, they sometimes will adjust because you're out of alignment, but what exactly is going on in there?
And that's really not what they are. Adjusting is not hip. That is your low back.
Okay.
And your sacroiliac joint.
Okay.
But most of the time, the hip pain, the actual hip pain, it's very common as you age, if you have arthritis, or if you have an injury. Sometimes there are other causes like septicemia or more complications can cause the hip pain, but most of the time it's muscle ligaments pain that people ignore, and it gets into the joint.
Is that just not exercising enough to build that muscle around the actual hip joints?
Hip joint is a big joint. Think about it. It's taking the load of your whole body.
Right.
You walk, you run, you move, you step up, step down. You can't do it without the hip joint moving.
Sure.
And hip joint is made up of muscles around the groin, muscles on the anterior side of the hip, posterior side of the hip, that is your buttock muscles. Now, lots of complications can occur where piriformis syndrome occurs, where your sitting muscle is inflamed, or if your groin is not stretched and extended, and you start walking with the pelvis inside, and slowly you put wear and tear on the hip joint, and
so you don't want it. So that's why John Wayne always never had hip problems, because he rode that horse, so he stepped away, right? Yeah. One thing you want to do, obviously, is probably get it checked rather than just try to beat it yourself, right? You go to a therapist, go to some place and get a free screening.
And hip joint can be treated very easily if they go to the physical therapist or occupational therapist, get it stretched right, do the myofascial release, maybe do manual therapy, maybe do range of motion or progressive resistive exercises.
Is there any age? I mean, if I'm like 25 with an accident, or maybe 50 or 110 like Curtis?
It just doesn't matter. You can be as young as 1 year old and starting to walk, and we see that they need help, and it can be 100-year-old. Doesn't matter. Therapy does make a difference in your life.
Perfect. Ms. Hima Dalal, Vital Energy. We'll put links for it at abccolumbia.com about some hip health and where to go and what to ask for if you want to get a free screening as well. Thank you so much for coming in. Yes, John Wayne, that's the way he walked that way. It's good and healthy. Stay with us.
Thank you.